Do I just go? All right,
You are 3 minutes early, but go ahead.
all right,
We'll be done early.
that'd be fantastic. All right, so, and actually, I'm not doing most of this, so I guess I should make sure that the people who are helping me out are here, who have some part in this.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, we do an official business meeting of the 11Q Research and Resource Group, to give you any information that you might need. Just to go over what we're doing, what we have been doing. Been doing a lot of planning for this conference. Answer any questions that you might have. So just so you're aware, this is our board. I'm the president, Jessica is the vice president. Dawn is the treasurer, and she will be talking to us in just a minute about the finances. Beth is our fundraising chair, and she's gonna be talking to us a little about fundraising in a minute. And then Annette is our secretary. So. And then I just thought I would share with you our mission statement. The 11Q Research and Resource Group works to educate, inspire, and support families, individuals, and caregivers affected by physical, developmental, intellectual, and behavioral disabilities associated with chromosome 11Q rearrangements. Additionally, the organization strives to promote, support, and advance research related to 11Q disorders and improving the lives of those living with these disorders. So that's our mission statement. Oh, and Kelsey has been putting together, for the last several years, she has run our website. So she is the mastermind behind having all of those links to every research paper out there. She has put together all the information on the website. She's put together all the registration. All of that stuff is way above my head, way above my pay grade. And so she has done that for us. So I'm gonna have Kelsey just talk to us a little bit for a minute about what is available on the website. It's not coming up. We just opened it. Well, it is open. Like I clicked on the link, it's just not coming up here. Oh, I don't really know how to do that. It's okay. Are you? Yeah. I'll let you get this. Got a presentation now. Go to the browser. I just see that one.
Alright, so the good news is we have some new photos that we can update our website, because this is an older photo, so that's exciting. This is our website. It is always a work in progress, and we're always looking for things that we can do to enhance it, what we can improve families who have had a child with a 11Q for a while, or some new families too. So you will notice that we have different bars up at the top, our homepage, which talks about our mission statement. We do like to have a conference page, so I will remove this after. That includes our information up here. We know that those life-saving protocols are really important. So those are front and center for our bleeding and immunology. They can be downloaded as a printable PDF, so they're really easy to access too. We have information on who we are, so about us, but then who here knew that we also have the 11Q in Europe as well, the European 11Q, right? So if we want to learn more about them, we can go to the global partners page. And I should probably update this too, but we have global representation. So when we created the page, we asked, where are you? And here are all the people that responded, but it's been a bit, so that's a good thing we can think about doing. Just access to the other groups if you're looking for more support. Maybe you're going one of those places and want to reach out. And we have frequently asked questions. So this was actually put together by Dr. Grossfeld. Here are the questions that he was asked most commonly. And these are the answers, and these answers were gone through, I think the whole board looked through
Yeah,
and
we
made
did.
sure that this is accurate information, this is information that we want out there. So again, if there's something where you feel like, oh, I really wish I knew this, reach out and we'll see if we can add it. In addition to that, we have information medical, it's a little hard to see up here, but if we break it up into things on the 11q deletion disorder, certain concerns or recommendations, information on genetic testing, and if you click this medical articles, we have everything broken out, and it is in order from the most recent going down to the oldest down at the bottom. So if you have a spare, 100 years, I encourage you to look through here and find things that you might be interested in learning more about. So we try to keep that up to date as well. The website is also pretty easy to access on your phone, but if you find a glitch, please don't hesitate to let us know. Concerns or recommendations, again, these are broken out by different areas of the body. So if your child is diagnosed or something is coming up and like, hey, I didn't know that we should look at the heart more regularly, you're gonna find those medical concerns and recommendations here. And then support. So if you are working on reaching that $1,000, Dr. Grossville said we can try to get together in these next few months. This is where you can go to figure out how to, the donate button, where to donate and how. So you'll see there is a link to his heart research fund. And then we also have some other ways that we work to support our 11Q family. So we have an Amazon Smile. You could do a Facebook fundraiser. If there's something that you know of that I don't, let me know and we'll put it on here. And then this support page right here just talks about our link to our 11Q family. So if you're not on our Facebook page yet, I encourage you to do so because that's a great source of family support and information. And we have links to the Facebook page and our YouTube channel here where we have a lot of our recordings, including some from this conference, which should be up there at some point in the future. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, Bert, I mean. Yeah, I mean, if there's someone who's in information, that's something we can definitely look into to own an account and see if we could tie it. Yeah, I think we could look into that. I don't have a notebook, but I'm mentally registering that. Yeah.
Amazon Smile. It did, it is.
Okay, well, that's a bummer. So thanks. Now, if you have another suggestion to put in there, let me know. And you don't, that's okay. I think I can come up with something. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, thanks for letting me share. Hopefully it's easy to come back.
Thanks, Kelsey. And just so you know, Kelsey is a volunteer. She doesn't get paid to do any of this. None of us get paid to do any of this. Like our salaries are $0. Actually, we pay. We actually pay the things. And so when you make a donation, we have very little overhead. It's like to support, we do have to pay to have a website, stuff like that, that, we don't have no volunteers. We're all volunteers. None of us are paid. All right. So next, it's Dawn's turn.
Hi, I'm Dawn Carzoli. I recently took over the treasurer duties for the 11Q Research and Resource Group. And I'm gonna present the session you've all been waiting for, the financials. This is just basically like a balance sheet for a nonprofit. We call it a statement of financial position. You'll see we don't really have a lot going on. It's a pretty simple organization. Have some money in the checking. We put some in a CD to earn a little bit of interest, whatever we can. And with that money, we use it to fund the conference, which probably averages about 40.
Oh, no, it's more than that.
No,
Probably-
maybe more than
Around
that.
50.
My first year doing a conference.
Hopefully-
the other year.
We're trying to stay under 50, so that will change dramatically.
That will change dramatically and then donate to Dr.
Yes.
Paul's research. So when money comes in for research, I put that in a different category to make sure that we're always designating funds directly to his research as well. And not much to say about that. Do we have the next page?
Yes, there's one more, there, yeah, the second one, Mason. That's it.
Statement of activity. So I did just take this over, doing the accounting a little bit different. So about 14,000 of these donations are really, or 14,000 between the conference fees and donations is really from the prior year. So when you see the total, 40,000, it's really 26. So we don't take in a lot of money. We can always, that's what you're gonna hear about next. We could use more because obviously, you know, if we took in 26,000 a year, that would only be enough to maybe cover our conference. So, you know, always looking for new ways for contributions to come in. Again, you can see there's no salaries, no anything, just very few administrative fees, office supplies. A little bit of interest income from our CD. So not a lot going on. We run very, very lean. Everyone's a volunteer. So really almost everything you contribute goes directly to 11Q or to the research. Right now, when people contribute through Zelle, we have like no fees. I don't know if that's gonna change. But right now, anytime you can contribute through Zelle, it's gonna go, we're not gonna have any merchant fees. So we'll see, but I mean, through Chase right now, that's how it works. So anyone who can do that, that is always the best way to do it, okay? Because PayPal, we're gonna pay a few fees. Facebook even, and then, of course, we don't even have that right now. We're trying to get that set up. That's really all I want to say. Oh, no, I had one more thing I wanted to say. I put everything into QuickBooks and we're kind of trying to generate a better database where we have current information, addresses, telephone numbers, emails, whatever we can for the families. And I thought it would be a nice idea to maybe even get a little bit more information so we could use it as a database. And possibly, you know, if Dr. Paul ever needed it for research or whatever, we would have something that had information such as the 11Q diagnosis, like what kind of deletion, maybe the size of the deletion, and who people are in relation to the affected 11Q individual. So anytime I know that information, I've been entering it right now. I'll send out an email to the people on this list, and if you're comfortable with it, maybe provide us with that information so that we can create a better database. Thank you.
And just for your.
Question.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, probably not.
I've done like website creation and all of that, and this is part of like, the research that I used to do. So is it possible to create within the website, and I can talk to Kelsey later, but a parent portal where these databases can live with a password, you know?
Yes,
so-
we've looked into that. I mean, I've actually looked into having registries like done through our website. We're not, our budgets don't cover that quite yet. It was extremely expensive to have like an outside registry that's all protected and everything through our website. But that is something that we ultimately do want to do.
Okay.
So we want to be able to do something like that. We just have to figure that out, and maybe you can help us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
I do. And the other thing is, that I've wanted in the past is, I'm so glad that a database and spreadsheet are being created. I've wanted to, again, HIPAA, people are
Right.
comfortable with it, but being able to have not only the contact, and you don't even have to put your kid's name, but the symptoms that they have. So they're all of their diagnoses and various symptoms for whoever wants to contribute, so that you can go directly to that family and be, you know, what's your experience been? This is a new thing for me. I don't know how to go about it. Like, I just learned from Beth a couple days ago about walking and bone structure. And I was like, oh my God, who do I even go to for that? Because this is something I'm realizing is happening. So yeah, that would be really cool. And I'd love to help with that if I'm able to
Yeah.
too.
and just another note on that. I would like a list of everyone's gifts and talents, please, so that we can use them. Like, I didn't know that Abby could do guided meditation, and in 2024, I looked everywhere, and she was at that conference. And then I find out after that she can do that, and I will, so send me your gifts and talents. I will use you.
Can I also send that from the husband of the woman that's been doing all of this? Because we need help.
All right, I need to, find Beth's slides real quick, because we're gonna talk about fundraising real quick, but I need to find her slides real quick so I can download them.
Also, if you had some headphones that you perhaps left back on this table, these are not mine. They are yours. You're welcome to come and grab them. They're Dr. Paul's.
Hang on. Or on your computer. We can just hit yours up. Yeah, you can just use your computer, that's easier. Turn this off first, sorry. Too loud. All right. You can see. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Zoomers.
So I went to go buy some shoes the other day. I think the guy was a drug dealer. I'm not sure what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. He had these other shoes, but they were Velcro, and I'm not buying shoes with Velcro. They're a total ripoff.
Other than. Okay. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so, starters, how did you guys enjoy the conference this week? Are any of you here for the first time? All right, did you learn something that helped you manage your child's medical condition? Anybody? I know that has been huge for me, and I've been so glad and thankful for Dr. Grossfeld and for all the other doctors who've been here in the past. And did anybody learn anything that's helped them manage their children's behavior, do you think? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that has been like, even the things I learned back when Elise was just an infant, I've used it like her whole life, and now she's 16, and it's just been so transformative for me. And even back from the very beginning, when she was just a toddler, I mean, so tiny, that I came when she was only 9 months old for my first conference. And I was just like, This has been so amazing. I felt so lost when I got her diagnosis in the mail. And so I was just like, how can I give back? I mean, this has just been so incredibly transformative. And so I was like, there's gotta be some way that I can help. And I didn't have any money that I could just give myself. So I was just like, how can I give? How can I help? So, I just wanted to be able to help in some way. So, and I also met so many people that, nobody else that I knew had Jacobson syndrome, that nobody did. And then it turned out Dawn lived an hour from me. Kelsey lives in the same town that I used to live in. Her daughter goes to the same school that Elise used to go to. And, so it turns out there actually is a community relatively near me, but some of you may not have that. But you now have people that you can connect with and through different methods. And so it's just really amazing. So does anybody have any takeaways that you would like to share? Nobody has, yes.
I'll just add that this is our third conference and I would consider ourselves lifers. I want to come every 2 years when it's offered.
It's just such a lovely community to be a part of and to have shared experiences and to learn. So I want to know how we can always continue to support because you guys do so much for all of us.
Thank you. Don?
I just wanted to add or just agree that, you learn a lot from the parents, other parents too, when you're talking to them, not just the doctors and presenters. So I think that's really important part of this conference.
I just wanted to, it's great to see other kids at different stages in their life and different ages, because again, when you get that diagnosis in the mail or just like, hey, matter of fact, this is what it is, and the doctor's like, well, I don't know what this is, but good luck. It's good to see that there are other people going through it and different ages, and again, puberty, everything, it's just good to thank you all. And I'm so sorry for all the questions, but I appreciate all the answers and all the information, so thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Huge thank you to Jessica for running that sibling group. Molly was kicking and screaming about coming to this conference. She begged not to come. She negotiated. And I dragged her here against all that so that she can be a part of the sibling group. She never wanted to talk about anything, totally shut down. And this year, she's not complained once. She's also a late sleeper, so I've had to physically get her out of bed at like 7:15, and she hasn't complained. Like, this is groundbreaking. So I just want to say, like, maybe for siblings who are maybe pushing against it or don't really like to talk about their feelings, I don't know, persist.
Thank you
And
for
thank
sharing
you
that.
so
Well, I
much.
told you how I feel for her. Adorable.
So there's so many different things that we take away from the conference. And the conferences couldn't happen without the fundraising that happens, because we are a 501c3 nonprofit and we have no income other than fundraising. And so the fundraising cost for the conference is around $55,000, I think, around this year, correct?
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere around there.
So it's gonna be right around $55,000. And as we just learned from Dawn, we made about $26,000.
It was 25 too, sorry,
Okay, well, around that. So that would, if we only did that for the next, 2 years, wouldn't even cover the cost of it. And prices are increasing, of course, with inflation and things like that. So, we all get such value, and it's not just the value of learning online from the things that we can see from, online with the connections on Facebook or on Instagram or other things like that potentially. But these connections that we can actually talk to different parents and have those conversations, they're really invaluable, because you just like, what Krista was talking about, just having those, conversations and finding out like, oh, yeah, that actually is a connection. And I didn't realize that was something that, could potentially happen. And so there are things that, you just find out here that are just like, You learn from older, parents of the older kids that are ahead of you, that that potentially could happen. Parents who are older, the old timers, as Dean likes to call us. We like to help the parents of the younger kids. So I want to give a special thank you to Lindsay and to Jessica and to Dr. Grossfeld and to all of the presenters and the speakers, Kelsey, who volunteered their times, because as Lindsay mentioned, that we are all volunteers and there is no salary for anybody. And so, and just reiterate that Dr. Grossfeld's been doing this work for the past 30 years. And that his research, without his research, there would be no conference. And so his research and our conferences are really symbiotic, right? So he could do his research without us, right? He doesn't need us. Well, in a way he does, because, but he's got the cells already. So technically he doesn't need us anymore, but we really, really need him. So we need him to be able to continue our conferences. And so it's really important that we continue to not only earn enough money, fundraise enough money to support ourselves, but also continue then to support his research as well. So we want to continue to do that, because Dr. Grossfeld is not paid by us. He is our chief medical advisor, but he's not paid by us. So all those times that we see him on Facebook saying, yeah, go ahead and contact me, and here's my email address. Give me a call. I'll call your doctor for you. He doesn't get paid for any of that, you guys. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he volunteers his time to do that on top of being a doctor and actually like seeing patients, and on top of doing all the research that he does. He doesn't get paid a penny for that. He just is a volunteer out of the goodness and kindness of his heart to help all of our kids, because he loves you guys. He loves all of our families, right? So it's such an amazing gift that he is.
I couldn't say it any better than me. Wait, I thought doctors like to work without those.
So giant thank
Thanks
you.
for hearing.
So giant thank you to Dr. Grossfeld.
Well, if I can say one thing, it really is two ways.
I think Curtis got to pass a mic for you.
Thanks, Steph. It really is a two-way street, and I remember years ago, someone said, you feel like you get appreciated everywhere you go except for where your home base is. And so you guys really give me a lot of inspiration. Kind of along those lines, another thing that I just love about these conferences is how everyone is so connected. And, 11q deletions don't discriminate. So what I love is there's just such a range of different people with different backgrounds. And, with all this ugly divisiveness, I'm not going to get into politics, but this group shows the best of people and how people can really come together because of the commonalities and embrace the differences. All right, I'm getting off my high horse here, but I just, thanks all of you. It's really inspiring. So keep doing what you're doing. And as long as my body and brain allow me to, I will try to continue to keep this going. So thanks.
And thank you. So because we're a 501c3 organization, we have to follow specific tax codes. So IRS tax codes that in fundraising, we can't just do willy-nilly whatever we want to, as much as it might be fun to do that. So we have to, each state has their own tax regulations that we have to follow in addition to the federal tax regulations. So for example, I live in Michigan and we have some very strict regulations as far as like, if we want to do a fundraiser that has raffles, we have very strict raffle laws. It's kind of crazy. You have to get a license to do raffles. In Nevada, you can kind of do like whatever you want to, anything goes, because of Vegas, right? It's in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Well, so we've had some people who live in Vegas who've been able to do some really great fundraisers in Vegas that we cannot do in Michigan. So, but if you want to do some different types of fundraisers, that's why we're going to ask you to actually, kind of, depending on what it is, to kind of, get in contact with me. So, because of the 501c3 status, we don't pay federal taxes, actually any kind of taxes. But if we don't follow those regulations, we would lose our 501c3 status, and we would have to pay taxes on those donations. So we want to be really careful not to lose our status on that. So some different ways that you could potentially help as far as fundraising goes. These are some things that people have actually done in the past. So some people have done paint nights, like, those like wine and dine type of things where they have like setting up easels, and have you guys seen those things? Right, so that's been some really successful types of things. Some people have done auctions. One of the families did an auction where they had like some sort of a gala, and they also had they auctioned off a used BMW. Right? And Dr. Paul actually went to that event, and
Not too far from here.
exactly, yeah, they live here in Gator, right? Some people have done raffles. I think Dean has sold earrings and donated for that. And she's also donated earrings for other people to do the raffles. And there have been 50-50 drawings. There was spaghetti dinners that I know that you guys have done. There have been art sales, there have been neighborhood garage sales and bake sales, and lemonade stands, kind of all wrapped in one. We have the $11 for $11, kind of in November. There's also the Day of Giving. We also have the t-shirt fundraisers. Sometimes people are selling t-shirts on the Facebook page that really are just kind of for them. So they're the ones making the money. So they're not necessarily all fundraisers. So and there's no law against that. They can do that. So but they're just be aware that they're not necessarily going to the 11Q. But we do ask that if you are going to be doing some sort of event like this, that you do use the form that we have in the and actually, I'm going to ask Kelsey to put this on the website for you. But it is this here. Oops, oh shoot. It's going to ask me to, oh, it did come up. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to move this out of the way. So it just is a form that's got the information on it, where it's going to ask you just some basic information, and ask you the type of information, just all the basic information. And it's just really so that we can make sure that you are staying in the within the bounds of the IRS regulations. So and because of the fact that if you are doing something that requires a license in your state, I'm going to actually check it out and check your tax codes in your state and just make sure that everything is covered with that.
Can I make one note on that?
Sure.
So there's two options for doing fundraisers. If you want to do one using our 501c3 status where people can get tax receipt,
Right.
then you have to go through all these steps. If you want to hold your own like yard sale and then you donate the money, then you can also do that. We just can't give out we can give a tax receipt to you for what you're donating, but we can't give tax receipts to everyone who donated. If you're looking to do a fundraiser that requires tax receipts for people who are donating at the event, then we do have to go through these steps to make sure that everything is above board, and so we don't get dinged.
Right, so in other words, so if you did an event where you wanted to do something where people are going to get individual tax receipts, so that say, for example, I was going to donate a $500 and I wanted to get a tax receipt for that, I would want to have a tax receipt for that, right? If I was going to do take my tax deductions, right? Although now a lot of people don't do the individual deductions. Now a lot of people just take the general standardized one. So sometimes it's not such a big deal anymore. So it kind of depends. So, and again, like I said, even things like raffles are a little bit tricky because each of the states have their own laws on raffles. So it's which is kind of crazy about how, yes. Curtis, did you?
I wanted to ask a question since GoFund is such a huge thing now. Do we have restrictions for posting like a GoFund? Would that be considered an individual donation once the funds are collected?
Yeah.
And then we distribute them that way? So say we would donate to Dr. Grosswell's research, we can, put in our post based on, Dr. Grossfield's research and say that we're sending this out to collect funds and see what we receive, and then we do that type of distribution. Or, Clea just went to the 11Q conference, and we need to raise funds for the 11Q research group, and we post, that for a GoFund, then we distribute the funds that way. And is that like an individual, donation?
If it went directly to Dr. Grossfeld's lab, that's his bread and butter.
No, let me comment on, because GoFundMe charges, they have an overhead. And if anyone is interested in following up on my ask the other day to try to raise $1,000, just to give you a little bit of background, these are all great, but each of those requires work and red tape. To enlighten you on how Craig and Rebecca have done the fundraising for me over these years, since particularly the show went off the air. So some of you may be aware, they do an end of the year online fundraising campaign. And Craig, with his, incredible wit, sends this email, very personalized and, tugging at the heartstrings, to his friends and network. And it's probably like 500 different people. Plus he uses social media, so Instagram and whatever else he has. And honestly, when he does that, it's one QR code or a link that I give him. It's super easy. In this case, that money bypasses all the, obstacles. It goes directly, basically, to the Radies Foundation in a specific account that goes to my lab. No overhead, 100% tax deductible. To be honest, I think that's the easiest, biggest bang for your buck in terms of effort and yield. And, through Craig's network of friends, he's somewhere between $100,000 and $150,000 a year that he raises. And, if you think about the math, if I'm asking everyone in the group to raise $1,000 between now and Christmas time, let's say, I think that comes out to giving up one Starbucks coffee per week for each of the families. That's not a big ask. So it's pretty easy, and it's been really successful. So I'll just put that out there. Annette, I mean, I love your idea. I'm just trying to make it more, biggest bang for your buck, which is what I think everybody wants. Does anybody have any questions? I think Craig would even be willing to share with you his very personal email that you can use as a template, and modify it to your personal stories.
Actually, one question on your hospital. Yeah, there have been times where the hospitals matched the donation. Do you know if any of those windows are open soon?
Yeah, that was kind of a one time.
Okay.
And then.
One time.
But you do bring up a great point. There was a time 5-6 years ago where I think it was Mr. Rady himself created a matching thing. However, something that's been kind of overlooked is for many of you, your employers will match. And so, to be honest, that's kind of been an untapped additional source. So all they can do is say no, right?
Real quick, we're supposed to be out of here in 10 minutes.
Okay, so I just want to get through this really quickly because this is a separate thing that I just want to touch on because of the fact that this is something that's not going to cost you any money and is going to donate directly to 11Q Research and Resource Group. So this is something that absolutely donate cash directly to Dr. Grossfeld's research, but also do this, okay? Because I apologize about the link when being over to didn't translate from Keynote into to PowerPoint, so I apologize about this. Raise Right is an organization that does it's an online gift card and online shopping program. And it doesn't cost you anything in addition to what you do is you just buy gift cards online and you earn money from buying gift cards for everyday purchases. And you can buy your favorite brands online. And every time that you buy gift cards or dine on at different participating restaurants, or you buy gift cards for hotels or car rentals or different attractions, you can earn money that will go directly to the 11Q Research and Resource Group. And hopefully it'll come up. And it's a little slow. It's really easy. I've been doing this for years. We used to have to do it for my daughter's school.
So this is legit. And some of the different types of things, so it's just, I'm not gonna make it big, but you can get different, so all these different companies donate money to the different brands, donate money to the organization. So we have an organization that obviously is a 501c3, so we qualify. You just have to sign up, and I actually put the link for our organization for the 11Q Research and Resource Group on the Facebook group yesterday, so that it's already on there. And so if you, for example, wanted to buy something at, I don't know, any store, we'll just say actually you're gonna buy something online and you wanted to go to the, oh shoot, I can't sign in really quickly because we're running out of time, so. Shoot, let's see if I can sign in really fast. I had to sign it, I had to hold up earlier. I can't sign it really fast. All right, so anyway, you can buy the gift card online. You also can kind of double dip. Come back to that actually, next slide. So the brands share a portion of your purchase directly back to 11Q Research and Resource Group. And you just buy the gift card through the company. It'll go right onto your, you can have it either online, like online on your computer, or you can also download the app. So it's actually on your app, you'll get a wallet in your app, and then you'll receive a digital gift card. They do offer physical gift cards. We don't do the physical gift cards because they would come directly to me and then I have to send them out to everybody. So I don't do that. But so like I said, I've been doing this literally for years. And like, for example, Old Navy donates 14% of your purchase directly to 11Q. So like, we'll literally be like, we'll go shopping at Old Navy and then I'll be standing in line at Old Navy and still attest to that. That makes it crazy. And then I'll be figuring out how much I need to buy for an Old Navy gift card and I'll buy it and then I'll pay for it in line right there at Old Navy. And so then the money goes to 11Q Research. And even Marriott donates 6%. You can buy it in $1 increments at Marriott. So after $25. So when I go upstairs today to go pay my bill, I'm going to, for my incidentals, I'm going to find out how much I owe. I'm going to go buy a Marriott gift card. I'm going to pay for my incidentals on my Marriott gift card, and 6% of what I spent this week is going to go to 11Q Research and Resource Group. So it's that easy, is what I'm saying. And it's not costing me any extra money. So it's not coming out of my pocket. So this is one of those things where you can just say like, it's not an additional donation that's coming out of my pocket. And this is the thing that's really important is when you're saying like, I've got all these medical bills, I'm drowning in medical debt. We are too. The first 4 months of my income went to medical debt this year. So literally, I mean, between the two of us, not just these. So I get it. So, and again, like I said, shopping online, you can double dip because not only can you buy the gift card, but then when you shop online through their online portal, you also can get a percentage of it just through going to their online thing. So if you do, but you have to go through their online portal. So you go on their website or on the app and then click on whatever website, like say Macy's gives like 2%. You go through the Macy's website and then you figure out what you want to buy the gift card through the website, and then you would get that. So that it's Orleans and whatever happens to be. So at least you say have to wear uniforms, so we could do that. So another option is, and this is a totally separate thing, True Earth. This is a totally different thing. They have that's an eco-friendly laundry and household cleaners, and they do sheets of detergent with no plastic bottles. So if you are concerned about the environment, and you don't like all the plastic that is made from, for those jugs of laundry detergent, and they're also really great for traveling. You can buy household cleaners. We do have 20 to 30% of what you purchase goes directly to 11Q. So like yesterday, I just spent $50 on some household cleaners and laundry detergent. Oh, and they have special laundry detergent. I'm not looking at you, Kit. So anyway, so just for $50, $10, it's gonna go back to 11Q and it's not costing you anything additional.
So it's really, a really great thing. So again, help is needed for the fundraising, not only for the conferences, but also, running conferences, we also for the 11Q group, put out, disseminate information, like what Lindsay was talking about. Lindsay goes to the genetic conferences to meet with genetic counselors and to educate them. We also created, or not we, she, they created the brochure.
Stephanie actually created the brochure.
Oh, you created the brochure, all right, then, but you facilitated that, right? So, and then, of course, also make sure that you're donating to Paul's Life Saving Research for the 11Q, and the 11Q Research and Resource Group. So you can donate directly to Dr. Paul's research, and then also indirectly to 11Q. But of course, you can also directly donate to 11Q. You don't have to only indirectly. But you can also ask your family to do these things as well. All right, so, and thank you very much. I hope that you will consider doing these things because, as you know, that these are all really important things for your families and for your kiddos. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay. So, I know it's on Instagram, like for my birthday, because I don't, like I hate to the meeting, donate to the